I first met CIA Deputy Director's son, Michael Gloss, Ali. His call sign was Ali in late February 2024. He didn't talk to us much on the first day, but he walked around listening to what everyone was saying. Later on, we started talking. Literally the next day, we were on watch together and started talking. He told me that he was from America, a U.S. citizen who had grown up in Washington, and that he had a brother and sister. He told me that he wanted to live in Russia and to travel around the country. He wanted to buy a Bukhanka, UAZ 452, turn it into an RV and travel around Russia. Not long before the mission, he told me that his mother was working for the CIA and his father for the U.S. Navy. He said that he had always argued with his father about politics. He didn't share their stance on the ongoing events in Ukraine and around the world. Near Bakhmut, between Bakhmut and Chasov Yar, we captured the Vavilon position. While we were moving to capture the position, our armored personnel carrier hit a mine. There was an explosion and the vehicle caught fire. I suffered severe burns, but still helped evacuate the wounded, including Michael Gloss. There were 3 of them. We pulled the 2 of them out right away. When we took them to a relatively safe place, they, Ukrainians, started finishing us off with drones. A fragmentation round for a grenade launcher was dropped down between the 2 wounded guys. I don't know for sure, maybe it wasn't a fragmentation round, but it hit right between them. So basically, Gloss, received fatal injuries.
He was a very responsible person, a regular guy, who shared our values and mentality. He was diligent and attentive, and he knew how to keep a good balance between duty and leisure. He set up a room in one house, which he called the unloading room, where you could read or play the guitar. He came with his guitar and played it. He really liked our music. He liked our rock music, but he mostly played what he knew on the guitar. He played something of his own, but it was so heartwarming. I remember the lads returning from a mission, tired and downhearted. He sat down and started playing, and you could see the lads relax and start smiling. He lifted his mates' spirits. Our superiors treated him very well. So did his fellow soldiers. Everyone liked the fact that an American had come to fight for us and for the truth. He was a responsible person. I never heard any complaints about him. I never noticed anything wrong with him. Everyone treated him very well. He certainly deserves this award. Yes, the man came from a foreign country to fight for the truth. Of course he deserves it.
We set off on a mission, driving first in the convoy, but unfortunately we hit a mine. Gloss, lost his leg instantly in the blast. Remarkably, he managed to crawl out and apply a tourniquet himself. That was very impressive because not everyone can apply a tourniquet to themselves when they have a severed limb. Then the guys started to drag him away. There was heavy artillery fire, drones and kamikaze drones swooped in, dropping rounds. Unfortunately, they finished him off. He ended up in our unit, in my company, in my platoon. We prepared for the mission together, did combat coordination drills, and lived together. That's how we got to know each other. He proved himself to be a real man. He did everything we did, even though it was difficult for him because he wasn't from Russia. He was a brave lad. He left America, traveled around Europe, came to Russia, and liked it here. He decided to stay and signed a contract. I was rather surprised when he told me he was from Washington and that his parents were active CIA agents. His father had retired. I didn't believe him at first because it was hard to fathom. Then I found out that it was true. He didn't talk about them much. He said he loved them, but he didn't talk to them much. They didn't know he was in Russia. They didn't know that he was fighting for Russia either. He was really nice to us. Using translator, I asked him, does everyone there seriously think we live with bears? He said, yes, that's what they think. Everyone in America thinks we live with bears. Soldier Cashton said Gloss admitted his parents were CIA officials and he was from Washington. Deputy Commander Vladimir Shamsadinov said Gloss lifted troop spirits with his guitar.
25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.